Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of Embodied Divinity. Let's just sink into this sacred space together wherever you're at, feet on the floor, big deep breaths, and regardless of how you're feeling and what you're moving through, because remember, we can experience joy even amidst our sorrow. I want you to smile big for me, like really, really, really fucking big. And just hold that smile on your face for the next 20 seconds while you breathe and let all those yummy happiness chemicals move to your brain. So that regardless of our circumstances or way of being in this moment, we can choose to move into a higher frequency while still honoring all that we are. You can allow that smile to sink back into its natural form and just be here with me. Last night, as I was inspired for this particular session, I wrote in my notes to read from you page number 86 or channeled message number 86 from my new book, Breathe Deep and Plan on Miracles. And I think it's going to be really perfect for what I'm hoping comes through today. So before we get started, I'm going to read this little section of the book. Divine One, who you are is enough. Breathe and know you are in your perfect timeline. Where you are right now, right here, is preparing you for all that is to come. Be present with who you are in this moment, loving and accepting all of the ways you show up and all the ways you do not. It is in your honoring of who you are here and now that you evolve into who you will become. The answers you seek are within you. They do not lie with some external source of power, but within your essence of your being. At the core of your being, you are already whole, already living at your highest, already enlightened, ascended, and awakened. As you shed the layers of disbelief and doubt, you will see more clearly the elevated state of being within. As you live from there, you exude joy and create miracles. And it all starts within, being here now, loving whatever is. So, I talked a couple episodes ago about how I was on this path and there was a fork in the road and choosing one path or another. And I talked about my confusion in that moment of why there were two choices of all the things that I was moving through. And last week, as I was still moving through some of the energies of the choices I've been making, I heard this quote, and it changed my perspective of all of it. Sometimes not sometimes, the obstacle on your path is your path. And when I heard that, it just came full circle of everything I've always known, everything I've always talked about. Life is happening for us in the exact perfect way. It's only when we resist life happening for us that we create any form of suffering. And so here I was having this confusion, having these wonderings of why I was being given this choice, of why I had to make this choice, of why I couldn't just eat my cake and have it too. And then this quote, the obstacles on the path are your path. This moment that I've been moving through, this choice, this whatever is my path right now. I was so focused on getting to the other side of it and choosing correctly and choosing alignment and all these things that I didn't realize that there was so much to be learned, to be welcomed into my system, to be processed, to be open to in the actual experience of what was happening. And we do this so often as humans when we go through hard times or confusing times or even joyous times. We jump right to where we're supposed to be in the future. But the truth is, right here, right now, is where life is happening for us. The future does not exist, and neither does the past. Past and the future are these truly made up scenarios that no longer exist. Yesterday is gone. Yesterday no longer exists except for in our minds, which are really just databases of consciousness. The future does not yet exist except for in our minds. The only reality that is true is right here, right now. And so, whatever you might be going through or experiencing, that is the path. Can you surrender to the here and now and let it all be enough? Let it all be perfect. It's interesting. So, at the time of me recording this, in just a day and a half, I'll be headed to Disney World with my kids and my parents. And this will be released the day I return. So I guess we'll see how this trip goes. But there's a lot of resistance, or there was in me and my kids for this trip. It's Disney World isn't really a place we resonate with. We're not super into the crowds or the rise or the consumerism. And so, we would much prefer to be on a vacation in the wild or on a beach or in the mountains somewhere. But we're going because it was a gift from my parents, and we want to create harmony in our relationship with them, and it's also just an experience to have. And so, while we were all resisting it, we sat down and we chose to put some really good intentions into this trip to, no matter what, allow ourselves to experience something new, to feel into the joy, and to really just allow ourselves to be in each moment, no matter what it looked like. And so I've been in this place of working through surrendering, of just like knowing I'm going to be in an environment that I'm not necessarily in alignment or comfortable with, knowing that I'm not going to have the sanctity and the sacredness of my home, and really setting the intention to create that energy with me as we travel and as we move through this trip, and as we move through this experience, and really just being in the present moment, knowing that this is exactly where I'm meant to be. This is exactly what I'm meant to be experiencing. And I don't necessarily get to or need to know why. All that matters is this is an experience I'm currently having. And there's a bigger, more vast reason for it than I ever could have imagined. I'm saying yes to life and surrendering to the circumstances around me. It was a choice I made. I could have made a choice not to go and deal with the repercussions of that, or I made the choice to go and I'm dealing with the repercussions of that. Whether negative or positive, every choice we make gets to be an empowered and conscious one. And we get to walk boldly into those repercussions, whether they're good, bad, beautiful, and ugly. We get to experience them fully and wholly, knowing that this right here, right now, is our divine path. I know that September holds so much energy. There are so many energetic and astrological events in this time period that are really shifting the collective to see right in their face what no longer serves them, and to make an empowered choice that's more in alignment with them. And I think with all these energies, we can put this pressure on ourselves to choose right and to do all the right things. But in the end, we can't choose wrong. Anything that is meant for us will never miss us. It's only the frequency we can choose to be in the present moment. And that's why started us off today with a smile. Because whether you were already joy filled or whether you were really going through it, we can still honor where we're at and choose a higher frequency. You can choose to move through the hardship by caving in on yourself and wallowing, or you can choose to face it head on, maybe with some excitement in your bones and a smile on your face. Maybe you can oscillate between saying, I'm going to deal with this and I'm going to feel it and I'm going to process it all, and I'm going to take a break to go have some belly aching laughter. However, you choose to process it is up to you. I, for me, find that when things come up, I'm like a rip the band-aid off kind of person. And it's so funny because I'm witnessing in my current relationship. It's so fun to let people see your process and also to see the way that they might want you to do things differently and still really own your own empowered choice. So I've been having a lot arise within my system around receiving and being loved and all of the things. And the thing that feels most in alignment with me to process is to dive all the way in, to feel all the pain, to feel all the grief, to shed every layer all in one fell swoop. And so I've been doing that. I've been in it. And I've still been allowing myself to listen to music and dance and have all the fun, but like really in it. And also making the commitment to communicate once I've processed something with my person. And so it's just been interesting to see the way that I can allow myself to do that and also see the way that this person wants me to or how this person chooses to really just focus on love and light all the time and not necessarily want to like be in the depths of those emotions, and letting my way be perfect and right for me and letting their way be perfect and right for them. And it's just really fun to see. um but when you can dive in, when you can dive in and fully feel it and not let it define you and not let yourself tell stories about it, but just really feel the sensations of whatever you're experiencing and knowing that it is not you, that you can choose a better feeling thought and a higher feeling frequency at any moment. That's when the real alchemy occurs. See, I can dive into my depths because I know I'll never drown. I can dive into my depths because I've learned to swim with my demons. And it's when we can do this that we can choose any frequency of embodiment as we process these heavier emotions. I know sometimes in the human experience, when we're feeling heavy things, we really let that define us and we project out onto the world that perception of the world of darkness and pain and hurt. But when you can just call it a sensation and experience, when you know that as you're processing it, you're doing it to let go so that you can step into a higher frequency, when you can honor the path that you're on and know every obstacle on that path is a part of that path, everything changes. Today, wherever you're at, can you honor the here and the now, completely surrendered, knowing it is happening for you and through you? Big, deep breath. One more time. I'm going to end this session today by reading this chapter one more time, so that now, as you've heard, as you processed, as you opened, you can really let these words sink in. So take a deep breath. Open up your arms, your hands, your chest, your mind, your spirit to receive. Divine One, who you are is enough. Breathe and know you are in the perfect timeline. Where you are right here, right now, is preparing you for all that is to come. Be present with who you are in this moment, loving and accepting all of the ways you show up and all of the ways you do not. It is in your honoring of who you are here and now that you evolve into who you will become. The answers you seek are within you. They do not lie with some external source of power, but within the essence of your being. At the core of your being, you already are whole, already living at your highest, already enlightened, ascended, and awakened. As you shed the layers of disbelief and doubt, you will see more clearly the elevated state of being within. As you live from there, you exude joy and create miracles. And it all starts within being here, now, loving whatever is. I love you guys. I'm so proud of you. Thank you for being on this journey with me. And as always, breathe deep and plan on miracles.